Hi everybody, my name is Taylor Fair and I will be presenting on the journal article Remote Sensing Algorithms for Estimating Nitrogen Uptake and Nitrogen Use Efficiency in Cotton. The purpose of this study was to better understand the effects of nitrogen rates on different aspects of cotton production, such as nitrogen uptake in the cotton plant, nitrogen partitioning, nitrogen use efficiency, canopy reflectance, and overall lint yield. More specifically, the objectives of this experiment were to determine how nitrogen application rates affect nitrogen concentration and accumulation, to evaluate the relationship between canopy reflectance ratios and nitrogen concentration in the shoots or nitrogen accumulation in the above-ground plant tissues. Also to evaluate in-season partitioning of nitrogen within the plant based on source-sink relationships. This was a 2-year study done in Mississippi Delta in 2001 and 2002. A mid-maturing experimental cotton variety was planted in May of both years on a smectitic, non-acid leaper silt clay loam soil. Shortly after crop emergence, plants were thinned down to 9 plants per meter. The trials were planted in separate fields following cotton to avoid residual nitrogen from the previous years. The experimental design was a randomized complete block with 5 replications in 2001 and 6 in 2002. 4 nitrogen treatment rates were applied during the growing season. The rates were 0, 56, 112, and 168 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare. The 56 kilogram treatment was applied at the second true leaf stage with 1 application. The 112 kilogram treatment was split into 2 treatments of 56 kilograms and applied at the second true leaf stage and the first square stage. The 168 kilogram treatment was split between 2 applications applied at the second true leaf stage with 56 kilograms per hectare and at the first square stage with 112 kilograms per hectare. The heat units and precipitation accumulated throughout the season were slightly above average, and the trials were furrow irrigated from June to August to avoid water becoming a limiting factor. The measurements taken during the study were leaf net photosynthetic rate, leaf area, weights of plant parts, nitrogen concentration, nitrogen accumulation, lint percentage, lint yield, canopy reflectance, nitrogen uptake, and nitrogen use efficiency. Data was analyzed using SAS mixed procedures and Fisher's LSD value of p equals 0.5. Correlation analysis was used to select optimum reflectance ratios. Nitrogen concentration and accumulation data was plotted against reflectance ratios, and a linear regression analysis was carried out. The leaf photosynthetic rate was low in the early growth stage of the cotton and reached a maximum between first square and first flower. After first flower, it leveled off and started to decline. At 50 days after seeding, the leaf photosynthetic rate in the plots with no nitrogen was much lower than the other treatments. Above ground biomass was low before the square stage and rapidly increased after. The plots treated with 168 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare had much higher above ground biomass values. Nitrogen concentration in the plant tissues differed among stem, leaf, and fruit, and was highly affected by the year, plant growth stage, and nitrogen application rate. The nitrogen concentration found in the stem was less than in the leaves and declined throughout the entire growing season. Nitrogen concentration in the leaf was low in seeding stage, reached its maximum between 40 and 50 days after seeding, and declined as plants matured. The greater nitrogen concentration found in the leaf was in plots treated with the 168 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare applications. The nitrogen concentration in the fruit was similar to the leaf, with smaller differences among treatment rates. During days 35 through 67 after seeding, nitrogen accumulation in the leaves and stems rapidly increased, and leaves were found to be a major nitrogen sink. Starting from day 70 after seeding, nitrogen accumulation in fruit rapidly increased. At day 85, fruit accumulated more nitrogen than stems. When comparing nitrogen concentration and accumulation values with canopy reflectance values, significant correlation was found between canopy reflectance at 405 nanometers and shoot nitrogen concentration, and between canopy reflectance at 795 nanometers and above ground nitrogen accumulation. Nitrogen partitioning in the plant tissue and in the stem showed little effects from the different nitrogen rates. The leaves were a major nitrogen sink from 30 to 84 days after seeding, and nitrogen rapidly increased in the fruit as plant growth progressed. Lint yield did not differ in 2001, but in 2002 the higher nitrogen rates correlated with much higher yields. Nitrogen use efficiency declined with higher rates of nitrogen application. The study found no difference in early season above ground biomass among nitrogen rates. However, later in the season, low nitrogen rates significantly reduced above ground biomass. Leaf nitrogen concentration was highly dependent on nitrogen rates and growth stage. Fruit was a major nitrogen sink, and nitrogen accumulation in leaves and fruits were the most affected by the nitrogen rates.